Okay, Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Uh, though I am suffering again with the throat problem, but still we have to continue because due to some internet issues, I haven't uploaded today. I'll upload, some 3 to 4 lectures actually on WhatsApp, and even I will upload them on LMS as well. But I request, the pharmacy department chairman and responsible for making me a group on LMS so that I can also share the same data over there, right? Thank you very much. My dear students, I'm going to move on to relative pronouns, okay? Relative pronouns. Now you have to just look actually the following sentences, all right? The pair of sentences. Like, I met Harry. Harry had just arrived. Yeah, he's just returned. I have found the pen. I had lost the pen. Here is the book. You lent me the book. Okay? Now, move on. We are going to make, the problem more clearer. So you have to just look actually in these sentences. Let us now combine each of the following pairs into one sentence. The sentences which I just spoke, you see, before. Now we are supposed to combine these sentences, right? So what is the best way to combine these sentences? I met Harry. Now you see here, I met Harry who had just returned. So the focus is here on who, all right? I have found the pen which I lost. I have found the pen which I have just lost. So the focus is on who, on which, and here is the book that you lent me. All right, so you can see, my dear student, so the focus is actually upon these 3 words. Like, for example, who, right? Now you see who, okay, which, now you see, okay, which, and then you see that. That, you see there. Now let us examine the work done by each of the words who, again who, which, and that. So here, it is explained here, the word who is used instead of a noun, Harry, right? It is therefore does the work of a pronoun. It has done the work of a pronoun. And the word, the word who joins or connects 2 sentences. Joins or connects 2 sentences or 2 statements, right? So it therefore does the work of a conjunction. It is therefore it is actually done the work of a conjunction. So the word who therefore does the double work, the work of a pronoun and also the work of a conjunction. All right. So we might therefore call it a conjunctive pronoun. We call it a conjunctive, because what is a conjunctive pronoun? A conjunctive pronoun is which does the work of a noun and which also works for conjunction. So such pronoun, such word is termed is conjunctive pronoun, my dear student, because in that particular sentence, as you saw there, it has done the work of a conjunctive pronoun. You understand? I hope that you are getting what I'm saying. All right. So it is, however, called a relative pronoun. Okay, a relative pronoun because it refers or relates. The focus is here on the word refers or relates, because if you look at who, which, and that, so which relates actually itself, that part of sentence which comes after it, it relates it to the previous part of sentence. So therefore it refers back to the first part of sentence, and therefore it relates, you see, to the previous part of sentence. Therefore we can't leave, right? So it means, this is actually taken from Latin, and it means carries us back. Literally the word relative, it carries us back to some noun going before. All right, before the noun, like for example here in this case, that is Harry, which is called antecedent. You must try to remember what is antecedent. An antecedent which comes before. All right, okay. So let the people show why, which, and that are also relative pronouns in the second and third sentences as well, right? So what is so therefore we can say that relative pronoun is that which relates the which relates the sentence which comes actually after the first sentence with the first one. So there kind of relation is there. So therefore we call it a relative sentence, my dear students. I hope since I upload these lectures on YouTube and I also share its link actually on WhatsApp, but my dear students, if any part of the lecture you are unable to understand, so please you drop your all general questions actually, and try to share those questions on WhatsApp group as well and address me. Or you can even in your comment sections basically in YouTube, you can also drop your comments over there. My job is to make you understand grammar, because once you learn grammar, it will strengthen your English very well. Because this book, that is the key for success, for knowing English. Therefore, you must try to try to understand. Right? Please do help me, do support me in this regard, because online teaching has got its different disadvantages as well. Because no question answer happen there in the online sessions, basically mostly on recorded session. So please, grammar, that is like maths, it has rules and regulations. So until and unless you do not discuss with each other, so that would be very, very difficult. So please don't feel hesitate to ask me question. I am at your disposal. I am for you, right? So let's move ahead. My dear student, let the people show why, which, and that are the relative in the second and third sentences. You can also use actually the relative pronoun in the first and third person sentences as well, and even in the in the sentence which I just shared with you people. Two parts were there, but we linked them, we related them. So therefore, my dear student, you must be aware of it right now. I think you are familiar now what is relative pronoun, and I hope the relative pronouns which is clear. What is antecedent of which in the second sentence? These are the questions you are being asked, okay? And what is the antecedent of the third sentence? You are being asked actually there, okay? Now we are moving to the forms of relative pronouns, okay? Relative pronoun who has different forms for accusative, and accusative has already been discussed, my dear, and genitive, okay? Genitive. I think you are getting it. You are getting. My dear students, as I just mentioned, you see in the lecture before, antecedent. I said that is which is mentioned before. But right now, I'm going to actually to make it more highlighted and to make it more clearer for you people there. Right? What is antecedent? This is here you hear the sounds actually. Antecedent. Antecedent. Now you
Antecedent.
Antecedent. Again, I'm playing
Antecedent.
Antecedent. Okay.
Antecedent.
All right. So what is antecedent? Right. We can say that like a thing that existed before or logically precedes another. Right. There are some precursor, forerunner, and predecessor. But here in grammar, these things do not mean the same thing as antecedent means. Okay, or we can say a person's ancestor, or family and social background. Okay, the second meaning of antecedents also means the person, ancestor, family, and social background before. All right. And here is adjective preceding in time or order, previous or pre-existing. This also means here in grammar, my dear students. Okay, so but here with example I'm going to make it more clearer for you people. That what is an example of antecedent? Okay, here first of all it is defined here. An antecedent is a part of sentence that is later replaced by a pronoun. Okay, like for example, antecedent is the word. Like for example, here John in the sentence, which is the antecedent. For example, we say here, look, John. Look, you can see here, John loves his dog. So here, this pronoun, this pronoun, it relates, it refers back to this particular John. So here in this sentence, John is the antecedent, right? And simply we can say that going or coming before in time, order or logic, prior, previous. So I think it's clear now. Okay, I think this is clear now for you people. Is it okay? Right? So there are many questions, but we don't want to waste more time or you see on it. How that you have to find antecedent actually identifications. All right, you have to see a pronoun. You should be able to understand its meaning by looking in the rest of sentence. All right, and these are the questions which I am opening for you people if you are further interested to know this antecedent. Okay, now see there. All right. In grammar, antecedent is a word that another word refers back to. All right, the word is technically called a proof form. All right, and while English allows 4 types of antecedents based on many parts of speech, such as proverbs and pro-idiom, it is far more common for a pronoun to refer in antecedent. All right, so you have to just look at these things. All right, further you can go. These may be the different questions which can be, for example, what are the antecedent factor, what is antecedent critical thinking, what is the difference between antecedent and precedent, what is an antecedent ratio, what are the 2 types of antecedents, what is an antecedent and latent, can antecedent come after pronoun, what is antecedent and subsequent. But these are actually the detail, right? I'm going to skip this detail at this moment here. It's enough for you people to understand what is actually antecedent. All right, let me play it again. Antecedent. Okay, so I just explained. Now I move on to the forms of relative pronouns, because which was the lecture which I was just trying to continue there. All right, and genitive and causative cases and nominative, they have actually been explained before, right? So my dear student, I must you see nominative basically it is used here, this relative from whose, and then accusative, and who replaces whom in the former Englishes. So here you can see that these relative pronouns used in different shapes. So for example, this is the boy or girl who works hard. Now see, you works hard. This is the boy or girl whose exercise is done well. This is the boy or girl whom all praise. And these are the boys or girl who work hard. These are the boys or girl whose exercises are done well. These are the boys or girls whom all praise. Now the basic purpose is this. Just all these words, I mean whose, whom, and who, they relate actually the 2 parts of sentences. All right, so and these whose and whom, and whose, whom, they refer even to the singular nouns, all right, are even to the plural noun as well. From the sentences, they are quite clear. I hope you understand. It will be noticed that the forms are the same for singular and plural, masculine and feminine. You see there. These forms, they can also be used for feminine and for masculine. You can see there. This is quite clear. So the relative pronoun, which has same form for the nominative and accusative case, right? You see that which have this is the house which belongs to my uncle. All right. And this is the house which my uncle built, cost him Dumra. All right, so you see there. So the relative pronoun which has no genitive case but whose is used as a substitute of which. Even this whose, which is genitive. In other words, you can say it like apostrophe. It shows belongingness. So of which, this whose is basically used actually for of which. A triangle whose three sides are equal is called an equilateral. This is a sentence, and again here this is also being used here. Okay, so my dear, these are the different forms of actually relative pronouns that you are coming to understand. One point. Point number 151. The relative pronoun that has the same form in singular and plural, and the nominative case and accusative. It has no genitive case. Okay, like he that is content is rich. They that touch pitch will be defiled. All right, and take anything that you. So you can see here that is being used here. All right, this is actually in relative pronoun. So no genitive case is being used here. The relative pronoun what is used only in singular and has the same form in the nominative and the accusative. What has happened is not clear. What has happened is not clear. I saw what I mean. So here they say that it can be used only in singular form and has the same form in nominative. He failed in what he attempted. Okay, and further we are going to talk about actually point number 56, but I think it can be later on be done.